What's up, you guys? Zoeb here from OneGlanceTrader.com, and in this video I'll be walking you guys through my analysis of a live trade that I'm currently in on the Aussie dollar 1 hour chart that I'm currently up $162, and well, this keeps going around and around, but about $160 up currently at the moment. And what I wanted to do was just walk you through the analysis, why I got into this trade, where I got into the trade, where's my take profit and stop loss, and all that kind of good stuff. So if you guys like that, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe, because I'm trying to do more and more live trades where I can and show you guys my thought process around trading. So in terms of this particular trade, as we can see over here, I got into the Aussie dollar 1 hour chart at 16.13, so at 4.13 at this level over here that you can see by this green line. I've just drawn this red line here, so it was about a couple of hours ago now that I've got into this particular trade at this level of here, right at this current pivot point level. And I'm just going to get rid of this for now and just kind of walk you guys through what I like about this trade, why I've taken it at this particular level. And as you can see here, we nearly clipped in like the first hour my take profit target at the moment, and part of me really wants to move this trade now to break even, but I'm going to leave it where it is. So the reason why I got into this trade is down to one of my most favorite strategies at the moment, which is the missed pivots rollover strategy. And I've talked about this so many times on this channel, but what I like to look for is I like to look for a trend, and I like to look for missed pivots. So as you can see over here, since the beginning of August, we topped here and we've had this nice consistent move down. Prices making higher lows and lower lows consistently over here. And what that formed a missed pivot over here and a missed pivot over here. And what price likes to do is price, whenever a missed pivot is printed, price likes to get back to those missed pivot levels at inside the near future. Sometimes they don't happen and it's taken months, even years to get to a missed pivot level, and there are still some levels that still have not yet been hit. But majority of the time when a missed pivot is formed, especially when we're looking at daily pivots, which we're looking at the moment, it takes between a week to 3 weeks to potentially hit back up that missed pivots, and most of them happen within a week. So if we take the example of the run up over here that you can see over here, we have a classic example here is that you have a missed pivot right there, then price drove all the way up, and then price went all the way down, and as if by magic, price then got to this level and then pinged all the way back up here. So that's the logic that I'm going for. And again, I've got videos on this that goes into this in a lot more detail in terms of how this strategy works. But what I wanted to do, let me just get this thing back up here so I can go across a bit more. No, that's more like it, and cross that one off over there. So what I wanted to do is kind of understand this in this situation over here. So we had the two missed pivots, and then we had 1, 2, 3 pivot points that were hit. And what I like is when you've got 1 to 2 missed pivots and then the next day the pivot point is actually hit. What that tends to do is you normally see some consolidation happen as part of a trend reversal, which is exactly what we're seeing here. We're seeing now price now over the last kind of three trading sessions has been kind of going sideways, and I don't know why I don't have the linear weight moving average on here. If I can get that up, just bear with me so you guys can see this in more detail. We don't need these, and let's make these a bit more thicker so you guys can kind of see what's going on here. And you can clearly see this is that you've got price which is flat, and you've got the linear weighted MACD making lower highs. So you've got classic bullish diversions here. And as you can see here is that price has been making, has topped here at highs and has got here at lows. And this pivot point here is roughly around inside the middle of these two sections over here. And effectively what I've done is I've used this pivot point as my entry zone, and my take based on the market, based on higher term time frames, is that price wants to start pushing back up. And the bit that gives me the confidence is that you've got these two missed pivot levels where as potential take profit targets, but because price was at this pivot level, I knew that I'm more than likely that this is going to be the bottom. So I'm fairly comfortable with this. And if price does continue to go down, I'm willing to be wrong. But in this scenario, if you get into this nice position, 9 times out of 10, my personal view, you're gonna be right. And as you can see here, I was right but price, considering because I wanted to get a 1-to-1. I could close this trade out now at a nice profit, but it does go against my trading plan if I tend to do that. And I don't normally push my stop loss up to break even or things like that, because it can quite easily still range a bit across this particular pivot level here, which I don't really want to kind of get involved in. So I'm going to let this trade go out, and I've picked this pivot. As you can see, this was a miss. No, this wasn't a miss pivot level. Don't know why I'm talking about that. But this top bit here is a form of resistance, and we're kind of going between these two bands. If we want to get even more technical, you could argue that this here is also the actual support level. As you can see, clear amount of support at this particular level over here. So, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it how it is, and I fully expect price, if it does push back this level, to get to this level or to get to this level. So what I'll do now is I will pause the video here, and hopefully in 1 second you will see the outcome of this trade. So it's the next day, and as you can see from my terminal below, our take profit was hit, and we have closed out this trade at profit of $252.73. As you can see, we opened the trade on the 9th, and it is currently the 10th today, and around the morning time it did hit the take profit target. It did take a lot longer than I thought it was going to be to hit this take profit, which is fine. At the end of the day, as we can see here, the take profit line I've just drawn back in of 1.6205 was hit quite comfortably. And if you guys remember, I had my stop loss somewhere around these lows area, and as you can see, never even came into play at all. So minimal drawdown as part of this particular trade, and as you can see now, it got to that level and then it started to come back down again. I think here, looking at this, we've got this kind of resistance forming at this kind of trend line. I do expect a move up, because I do expect these two pivot points to be hit at some point, whether it's this week or next week. But hopefully that gives you the analysis in terms of why I got into this trade. The indicators I'm using, again, they're all free. Links down below to go pick up these indicators, and I'll also put on the end screen now the full strategy that goes into a lot more detail, as well as down below where you can go watch the tutorial videos of the missed pivot strategy. And this is how I kind of trade. So really hope that you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I shall see you guys in the next video.